Hello, good evening. Can you hear me? Yeah, good evening. So, hope you can hear me. Okay, so welcome to yet another session of an AMA session from Ayurveda. Okay, so today it's going to be a slightly interesting topic because let me try to put it as simple as possible to you because I'm just going to discuss about how we actually apply herbs to treat, looking into the properties of herbs. Dravyas, we basically call that. Anything, if you know how to use them, anything and everything in this world is a medicine. Jagatyeva anaushadham na kinchit vidyate dravyam. Okay, in this world, there is nothing that cannot be used as a medicine. In the sense, everything can be used as a medicine. Only thing is that you should know how to use it. So when you say, this is not useful, it doesn't work out here. Everything has got a use. The thing is that we don't know how to use it. So that's the reason where this today's topic, like dravya guna, we call that. Guna are properties, dravya are substances, herbs, minerals, metals, anything, any dravya. So if you know how to use a dravya, then it can be used as medicine. Okay, so let us start today. So today's thing is, properties of herbs. So it need not be only herbs, since I've put it as herbs, but any dravya, it can be milk, it can be water, anything. Okay, it can be animal products, it can also be metals and minerals, also anything. You should know the properties of it and be able to put it into use. So how do we actually put something into use? One thing you understand, that everything comes from the same source. You, me, okay, animals, plants, everything come from the five basic elements, the pancha mahabhutas, right? So let us start from there. Okay, so when we do the treatment, and any approach in Ayurveda is done in three steps, the threefold approach, and in the order of importance. Okay, the most importance has been given to ahara, food. Okay, then vihara is a lifestyle, and aushadha is the treatment. So the most important thing is your food. Okay, what you eat, you are what you eat and digest. Okay, like when you're constructing a building, it's very important what kind of material you use to build that building, so that that building actually lasts. Okay, with a lot of health. Likewise, it also depends upon what are you putting inside your body to keep it healthy. So food is the most important thing. Drinks also come under it, what you put inside, ahara. Vihara is your lifestyle. How, at what time do you get up? What exercises do you do? Okay, what time do you go to bed? Do you take a shower? Okay, do you take what do you call oil application on the body? Lot of things are part of a lifestyle. Where you sit on the floor and eat, whether you're standing up, lot of things matter. Okay, so vihara is also important. Then the third thing is that if your ahara and vihara are by and large proper, then you might not have the need to go to the third one, that is aushadha or treatment. Okay, so these things are very important. So your ahara and vihara are very good, and then the aushadha or the treatment comes. So anything you see in this world, are made of these 20 gunas. I've just given a few properties. Okay, gunas are the properties. Anything you see, and we call that the Gurvadi gunas or the Vimshati gunas, the 20 gunas. I have not given all the 20, I've just given etc. written. A few of them, okay. They are Guru, Leghu, okay. Things which are heavy, things which are light. Heavy doesn't mean, by weight. And lego doesn't mean again by weight. Manda is slow, that doesn't mean that it travels very slow. Everything is actually after, the property, whether something is hot or cold or heavy or light, is after digestion. So if something after digestion can help you put on weight, make you feel heavier, then we call that guru. Okay, and something which can make you feel lighter is laghu. Something which generates heat inside the system after consuming, we call that ushna, and something which can cool your system down is called shita. So likewise, there are 20 gunas. So I've written a few of them: guru, laghu, manda. Manda is slow acting. Tikshna is quick acting, sharp acting. Shita is cold. Ushna is hot. Snigdha is the oily thing, and ruksha is dry. So likewise, you've got, guru, manda, hima, snigdha, shlakshna, sandra, mridu, sthira, guna, sa, sukshma, vishada. So these are 10, and their opposites have been told as the 20 gunas in Ashtanga Hridaya. Okay, so Ashtanga Hridaya is 20 gunas, and the whole of Vata, Pitta, Kapha, basically, it revolves around these 20 gunas. And every dravya which you use, I mean the herb you use, is basically to balance these Vata, Pitta, Kapha, to understand where the imbalance has happened, and then trying to balance it through a dravya or a herb or anyway. See, dravya is basically a substance. Using that is what treatment is all about. So how do we do that? Okay. So I'm just giving you a light overview of the properties of Vata. Okay. Vata is light, rough, cool, dry, subtle, and it is mobile. It doesn't stay in one place. So these are the basic gunas of Vata. And if you look at the basic gunas of Pitta, Pitta is oily, it is sharp, it is hot, it is light, and it is liquid. Okay, but it does not flow. It is ready to flow, but it does not flow. Now when you look at the kapha gunas, kapha is heavy, it is slow, it is cool, it is greasy and immobile. The difference between the pitta and kapha is pitta is also oily, kapha is also oily, but the difference is that pitta is oily while kapha is heavy. It is more of greasy. So when you choose the right kind of dravya to reduce the kapha, you should use the opposite gunas of kapha. So something which is light, fast acting, hot, non-greasy, and which moves will actually reduce kapha. Okay, so balancing these, understanding the gunas of the or the properties of the triphala of the tridoshas and what it does to the body, and then how do you apply a dravya from as medicine to pacify. This is all about treatment. Okay, and this, what we understand is, this is called dravya guna. Dravya are all the substances. It can be from plant origin, animal origin, or mineral origin. Application of that is what we call as dravya guna. Okay, so now what is dravya guna? Dravya guna is sarvam dravyam pancha bhautikam. Everything in this world is made of the pancha mahabhutas. Okay, that is one thing you have to understand. Even tridoshas come from pancha mahabhutas, and so everything is made of pancha mahabhutas. So when it goes inside the body, it actually reduces or increases the pancha mahabhutas in the body also. Okay, so how do we basically look at these dravyas? Okay, so the theory of rasa panchaka is what is being put in dravya guna for us to apply a herb. Okay, rasa panchaka. Panchaka means 5. Including rasa, there are 5 properties which we focus on to actually apply a herb. Keep it in mind, there are 5 properties. Okay, and we'll see what are all those things. Okay, so rasa panchaka is, you look at, see, it is rasa, guna, virya, vipaka, and karma. Okay, we look into these 5 things before we apply any medicine. So rasa is what? Rasa is a taste. Okay, you have got 6 tastes. Okay, guna is what? Guna is the 20 gunas which you saw right now. Virya is the potency of a drug, whether it is hot or whether it is cold. In the sense, after digestion, whether it generates heat or whether it becomes cold for the body. Shita or Ushna. Vipaka is, we have got 6 tastes, and after Vipaka, that means after digestion, what happens to these tastes? Okay, so we have got this, Madhura, sweet taste, and the salt taste after digestion becomes salt. The salt becomes sweet predominantly, okay, and sour stays sour, and Tikta Katu Kashaya, that means bitter, pungent, and astringent gets converted into the what do you call it, the pungent taste. That is Vipaka. Okay, it might not be very easy for you to understand, but just keep it in mind that taste actually undergoes a change after it gets digested. That is Vipaka. Okay, and karma is its action on any disease or on the Tridoshas. Okay, so this is how the rasa panchaka is. Rasa are 6: Madhura, Amla, Lavana, Tikta, Katu, Kashaya. That means sweet, sour, salt, bitter, pungent, and astringent. Gunas are 20, and that's a huge topic. Okay, so I initially showed you the main about 6 or 8 gunas. Virya is 2. It is either hot or cold after something goes inside, whether it generates heat or whether it cools the body down. Vipaka is 3, which I just mentioned. Whether anything you consume, whether it is sweet after digestion, whether taste is sweet, sour, or whether it is pungent. And the karmas are innumerable. Okay, so this is basically so every dravya, okay, it could be plant origin or animal origin or mineral origin, have got these 5 things: rasa, guna, virya, vipaka, and karma. Okay, and these are the things which we look into when we apply something as medicine or as food. Okay, rasa panchaka. And there is something called prabhava, which some people consider as rasa panchaka, but actually speaking, prabhava is something which comes under karma. Prabhava is prakrishta bhava or achintyam shakti. Achintyam shakti means it is a property. Shakti is a strength or a property of an object which is achintyam, which you cannot think of. In the sense, when you have got two herbs, if you take with the same 5 properties, okay, rasa, guna, virya, vipaka, then they should basically have the same karma. But sometimes one drug will show an altogether different karma. That is the innate property of that dravya. Okay, so that is something which is probably, that is something which we cannot predict. Okay, I can give you an example. Okay, like there's something, a drug called Shirisha. Okay, Shirisha has got a property of Vishagna. That means it can nullify most of the poisons. But you have got other herbs also which have got the same taste, same properties, same vipaka, same virya, but they don't possess the anti-poison property. That anti-poisonal property which is innate to it is basically called as prabhava. Okay, it's not that every drug should have prabhava, but some drugs do have prabhava. They act on that prabhava. That is called achintyam shakti. Okay. So what do we do with the what do you call the rasa panchaka? Rasa panchaka is trying to understand the prakriti of a person, what the imbalances happen, and once you understand the imbalance, you use the rasa, guna, virya, vipaka of a dravya to actually counterbalance that and then maintain the dosha balance. So when any dravya is basically predominantly taste predominant, we call that ahara. Rasa pradhanam aharam. Okay, something which is more tasty, we consider that to be food. And virya pradhanam aushadam, something which is where it is more concentrated on its potency, we consider that to be an aushadha. That is basically how the substances have been classified as food and as medicine, even though there is not too much of difference. You can use anything as food and as medicine. Okay, but whatever we do, all these things are being put into exercise to balance the doshas. So our ultimate thing is what? Dosha balancing. That is the purpose why we apply these dravyas in all conditions. Okay. So if you have got any questions, you can start asking me questions. Okay. So as I said, there are innumerable dravyas around you. Lots and lots of herbs and plants, animals and metals. Everything has got a medicinal property. You should know how to apply it. When you know, if you don't know how to apply it, doesn't mean that doesn't have a medical, that doesn't have any medicinal value. Okay, so knowing that everything can be used as medicine is very important, and then studying the science in a little bit more depth, and then being able to apply these medicines either in single or in combinations. But the combination, what happens in combination sometimes, if you don't know the properties of two dravyas, if you mix them, there might be incompatibility. That's where we call as viruddha. Sometimes these two don't go together. So sometimes we see a lot of people mixing what you call milk and fruit, fish and milk. A lot of weird combinations. Ayurveda actually focuses a lot on viruddhahara, in the sense the combinations which you are not supposed to combine with. And if you combine in certain combinations, because of these all these dravya guna, which is all the properties of the herbs we just mentioned, if you mix them, they will interact with the system and cause ill health. Okay, so any questions? Ramesh, okay, please suggest food rich in proteins, vitamins and minerals. Okay, so there is not one food, Ramesh, which can cover all these things. Okay, that everything is rich in protein, vitamins, and I don't want you to be too focused on all these things. As long as you go into your traditional food, but eat your food moderately and eat on time, okay, you will be able to and your lifestyle also. Okay, you sleep really well, and you also go out, you do exercises, you get exposed to sun and a lot of things like that. You will get the nourishment. Okay, there is no one food which will give you everything. Yeah, Navya. Lichen planus, yes. Okay, the pigmentations become lighter, and afterwards they turn black, and also I'm getting, yeah. I think lichen planus is something which has to be handled with care. It comes under the autoimmune condition. Somewhere your immunity has been compromised. Okay, and in my opinion, you would have gone through a very strenuous, stressful stage in your life just before this actually affected you. Okay, you have to understand what that stress is. You also have to work on that, and your body has to undergo a proper cleansing before we actually start treatment for your lichen planus pigmentosus. Okay, I don't say this is something which is very easy to handle. This is not that easy to handle, but yes, we can definitely handle this. You also have to do a little bit of homework by trying to understand what was the stress point you went through and manage that also. Okay, Navya. Any other question? Yeah, is there a permanent solution for the pigmentation? Yes. Okay, your lichen planus can be, there is definitely, yes, we can do a lot. We can definitely manage that. Okay, it's not at all a problem. But as I said before, the causative factor also has to be handled. Okay. Okay. Could you please give some suggestions what food to eat during the Karkadaga month? Karkadaga month is basically the month which starts today. From today, in Kerala and in Tamil Nadu, also in Tamil Nadu they call it Adi Masam, in Malayalam we call it Karkadaga Masam, where we get rain in abundance. So when the rain is in abundance, we have got this vata actually going up really high, And pitta also is not very bad because the weather starts becoming cool. You'll feel that your digestion also is slightly getting better. Okay, so the foods which you have to eat in this season is, even though your appetite is slightly getting better, don't indulge in food which are extremely difficult to digest. There is something called Karkadaga Kanji in Kerala, where it is kanji is cooked rice with lot of water. Okay, so with it is actually what you call cooked with medicinal things, and so that it digests pretty fast. This is a time where your strength is actually low, even though your digestion is better. So indulge in, see, all seasonal foods. I'm telling you, you can actually go through seasonal foods right now. Even though when it is raining too much, I know that you will have scarcity of vegetables and fruit, but whatever is available you can have. There aren't too much of restrictions this season, but it is very important for you to apply oil on your body, take a shower on a regular basis. Abhyangam is very good in the season. Food wise, milk is good, ghee is good. Okay, and you can, I don't say you need not consume non-veg. Yes, you can consume non-veg, but see that you don't overeat and you don't get indigestion in the season. Indigestion in the season might not be good for the whole year. Okay, so take care and see that you don't get indigestion. What food and fruits to be taken for um, okay, eczema can be sham eczema can be in different forms. You can have a dry eczema, you can have a wet eczema, you can have a very itchy eczema, you can have a scaly eczema. So eczemas come in different ways, and the treatment and the food for those eczemas also might be slightly different. But in most cases, for eczemas and skin issues, we tell patients to avoid fermented foods. One thing. Second thing is that black gram is not something which is very good. Urad, okay, ulunga in Malayalam is not something which is very good for you to consume. It is bad. Jaggery is not good. Milk and milk products don't help you too much. Okay, and I don't want you to go too much into too much of protein food also. It will increase the itching, because too much of protein food does not help you in digesting your food pretty fast. So food is something which you have to be very careful. You have to be physically active also. If the itching is more, that means kapha is more. You have to completely avoid all sweetened foods. Okay, and the vegetables which are actually very good in this condition are the vegetables which grow on creepers. All the gods, the bottle god, the snake god, the bitter god, and all the gods are very good for you. Okay, don't overeat. Don't sleep in the afternoon also. 2 times meal a day, it depends upon what kind of work you do. If somebody is going for work at 9 o'clock in the morning and comes back only in the evening, okay, I would recommend them to eat thrice a day. Twice a day was always for people who were not job goers. If you're working from home, then fine, you can have one meal at 10:30 and then another meal at 7 o'clock, and see that you sleep early by 9. Okay, don't sit up late at night also. Okay, so it all depends upon your lifestyle, but I would still recommend for a normal person, eat thrice daily, but eat on time. Sweetie, I have dryness, peeling in edges of base of nostrils. What can be done? I think probably you might be more of vata. Okay, so and this is something I think you should try to understand. Why are you actually somebody who's getting of too much of cold? Are you what do you call, blowing your nose a bit too much? Is it that because of that, or is it because your skin is by and large dry? These are conditions you have to look into. It could be that your skin might be dry. Okay, if it is only the nose, then it's a very typical case. But otherwise, you might also, if you see dryness in other parts of the body, then you have to do things which will decrease the dryness. Only application, external application will not help you. You have to also take something internally which will actually lubricate your body from within. Okay, I can't comment too much without seeing you, sweetie. Okay. See, lichen planus is something, if you have, it depends upon stage, as I said before, eczema and lichen planus. All, see, it depends upon the stage in which you are. Even for psoriasis, also basically, the any skin issues, we tell them to completely avoid black gram, okay, and anything sweetened. Curd is not good at all. Buttermilk is okay for you. Okay, apart from that, not too many restrictions, but you should be physically active also, Navya. Okay. Which fruit should never be mixed with milk? Um, I don't know why people want to mix fruits with milk. First thing, okay, and by and large, most fruits are at a certain stage. They have got a little bit of sourness also. Okay, even though you think that banana is sweet, banana has also got a little bit of sourness. So we generally say not to mix fruit with milk. Okay, don't mix any fruit with milk. I think that would be the safest thing. Probably there might be some fruit somewhere which can be mixed with milk. Yes, might be there, but as a general rule, I would say avoid mixing fruit with milk and avoid mixing too many fruits together also. Okay, because you don't know what are the properties of this fruit and this fruit. Once they are mixed, we don't know what is going to be the property. So if you want to eat an apple a day, don't mix an apple, an orange, a pineapple, and a papaya and all those things as a fruit bowl. Eat papaya one day, eat an apple the next day, eat an orange the next day, eat a guava the next day. So what happens is you're eating fruit, every fruit, whatever fruit you're eating, one every day. So they don't interact or counteract with each other. Okay. So I would say don't mix any fruit with milk. Women nowadays are suffering from a round mouth. One thing I could say is it could also be the allergy for lipsticks. I see a lot of cases where women have got allergies to lipstick. They apply lipsticks. You can discolorations here. Okay. Second thing is severe. The second thing could always also be hormonal imbalances. If you have got PCOD or PCOS, you have got chances of pigmentation. Stress is one thing. Okay, women nowadays are overworked in the sense, they also have to take care of all the household things. They have to go out and they have to earn and they have to come back and again cook. That, in my opinion, is something practically impossible for any human being to do. So it is very important that you relax a little bit. Your hormones are going wayward. That's the reason why you get so much of pigments. And one thing is that see what lipstick you're using, how much ever organic it is, there might be some chemical, and lips are so soft that instant absorption happens from the lips. Okay. Sweetie, yeah. See, I would say a balanced food. If you look even from the modern part of it, if your balanced food is, you should have your carbs, you should have your proteins, you should have your fats. The difference between the simple difference between the carb is something which gives you instant energy. Okay, it doesn't mean that proteins don't give you energy. Proteins also give you energy, and if fat also gives you energy. Fat is basically the place where you have got all this energy stored. Okay, it takes some time for fat to break down and give you energy. Okay, so when you consume too much of sweets, the reason it gets those carbs directly get converted into fat and they are stored for the lean periods. Okay, so don't avoid carbs at all. If you are somebody who's working on the system, your brain, you use your brain too much, brain actually burns more glucose than most of the muscles. So you need carbs when you are sitting and working on the computer and using your head. Okay, so don't avoid rice at all. Probably say, but that doesn't mean that you should reduce the rice and increase the amount of vegetables you eat. I would say maintain a proportion. You reduce rice, reduce a little bit of sabji, reduce everything a little bit, and see that you bring a little bit of control to your portion. Okay, rice or polished rice, it all depends upon your habit. And see, everything you consume gives you a result, right? If you take polished rice, you get a certain result. If you take unpolished rice, you get another result. So it's not about good or bad. First of all, see what you're used to. Just because somebody says millets are good, don't go for millets, because millets are extremely hot. Okay, for a person from South India like me, okay, we have got water in abundance, and I'm used to eating rice. I should not suddenly stop rice and start eating millets, which does not suit me. Millets is something which grows in dry areas, meant for lands which are dry. So those people eat that. Okay, for somebody who is in Kerala with a lot of rains and a lot of rice, I prefer rice, and rice suits me better. So it's nothing like good or bad. See what suits you and have that. Can you please have some food to include and food to avoid in C-section postpart? See, irrespective of whether it is postpart, C-section, or normal delivery, for us we don't consider it too different. Okay, since immediately after delivery, for us, the vata, the process, the strain which the mother goes through increases the vata a bit too much. Apart from the food she takes, it's also very important for her to take rest. That's something which you have to focus on. Okay, I'll tell you the reason. The tummy is like this just before delivery, and if you look, the back is completely bent to balance that. Suddenly, what happens? Delivery happens, and the baby is gone. The back is still bent. And the moment you start walking straight and doing a lot of work, this bend does not get rectified, and you start getting back pain. So according to Ayurveda, what we say is, even traditionally, what we say is, we ask the woman to lie down flat on the back. So when you lie down flat on the back, what happens? Slowly gravity pulls the back down, and your spine straightens. You can tie a cloth, but don't tie it too tight. Okay, you can give a little. If it's a normal delivery, you can tie it slightly better. So what happens? The tummy and the uterus also slowly goes down. Okay, so it's not only about the food; it's also about your lifestyle, what you adapt to actually get back into your fitness after delivery. Okay, so in Kerala, what we do is, we give the woman more of rice kanji, and nothing uncooked is what the prescription is for somebody who is just delivered. Okay, in the sense, once food is cooked, it is easily digestible, and at any given point of time, the new mother should not get indigestion. If she gets indigestion, okay, there will be indigestion in the milk she produces also, and that indigestion will lead to indigestion to the baby who drinks the milk. Okay, so eat light. Okay, and eat food which actually digests pretty fast. And even when we give buttermilk also, we normally give processed buttermilk, so that also is cooked. Boiled water. Okay, so focus on things which actually digest pretty fast. Nothing cold which will increase cold. Okay. Rajaswala Charya is basically, I understand that you mean during the menstrual period, right? Okay, so I would say, uh, a woman, when she is during in her menstrual period, blood is flowing. So when blood is flowing, vata is actually happening. Vata is on the higher side. So if a woman strains herself a bit too much than normal, the vata goes up and the flow is actually exaggerated. Okay, so that is one reason. And even though people say that the women are put inside the house and locked, there is a reason why that have been told. The women have been told to take physical rest, because the more and more activity they indulge in, there is always a chance of the vata going up and the bleeding going up. Okay, and one other reason is, if you take a shower, a quick wash and all is fine. But if you actually take a long shower to cool your body down, that coolness will actually cool your body, and the flow is again interrupted. Okay, so in those days, people were asked not to go to the river to take a shower. If you want to take a quick wash, you can, but I don't recommend that you take an elaborate bath while having your periods. Okay. Okay. See, I would say, Valisri, a balanced diet. Okay, balanced diet is the diet which contains all the six tastes. Okay, so when you look at sweet, sour, salt, okay, these are six, first three: sweet, sour, salt, and the next three is bitter, pungent, and astringent. When you look at heaviness wise, okay, the first three are heavier when compared to the last three. And when we say that you have to have a food which is predominantly all the 6 days, when you're having something in the morning, let the morning food be more predominantly sweet, so it's heavy and it gives the nutrition for you to last throughout the day. But when you're eating a food which is in the evening, okay, let it not be predominantly sweet, predominant. Let it be more of bitter or slightly astringent, so that it stays light in your tummy. More or buttermilk is actually bitter, and if you can have a little bit of, when you can have more of buttermilk rice or something mixed with buttermilk at night, it stays light in your tummy. So predominantly 6 tastes, yes, you can have, but predominantly last three would help you keep it light. The top three would be better to have it in the morning. Inflammation in the body, Navya, can be due to so many reasons. Okay. And one thing is that when inflammation is there, pitta definitely is on the higher side. You can see a lot of heat being generated in the body. So anything which will not increase the heat is something which you have to stick to. Okay. One thing which will increase inflammation is exercise. You can't do exercise when you've got inflammation. Another thing is that staying awake at night will again increase the pitta. You can't do that. Okay, consuming foods which are spicy, salty, and sour will also increase inflammation. You should avoid that. Apart from that, we should see why you have got inflammation and where you have got inflammation. Then then the medication and other things will change according to that. I've just given you an overview. See, Dhanvantram Thailam Preeti. Dhanvantram Thailam is an oil which is generally being used for most issues. Okay. I don't know where you want to apply the oil at night. Okay. Then I don't want you to apply it on the body and go to bed. No. Don't apply on the head and go to bed. No, it is not good. Okay, knee can be avoided, but if you have got some local pain on your knees, yes, you can definitely apply it, give it a gentle rub and go to bed. But don't do the whole body massage and go to bed, or apply on the body. Here and there, yes. And for if you feel that you are not getting enough sleep, yes, you can apply a little bit of Dhanvantram Thailam under your soles and palms a little bit, and give it a gentle rub. And then you can sit and definitely do a meditation, absolutely no problem. Okay. The do's and don'ts when we apply Dhanvantram Thailam is, don't exert yourself after applying Dhanvantram Thailam. And after Dhanvantram Thailam, it is always good for you to take a shower in warm to mild hot water. And after applying oil, it is always good for you to do a little bit of Mardana. Apart from that, I don't think there are too many restrictions when you apply Dhanvantram Thailam. But there are conditions where you cannot apply Dhanvantram, as if you've got an active inflammation, you've got heaviness. If you apply oil, you might see that the pain, there's a chance for the pain to go up. Especially in conditions like Amavata, you apply oil, the pain goes up. Okay, so there are conditions. It's not meant for all joint pains. So when there's an active inflammation, I would say you need not or you cannot apply Dhanvantram Thailam. Shyam. For bald person, if it's a fungal infection, you have completely lost your hair, then you have to treat for the infection, Shyam. When you have got an infection, and that's the reason why you went bald, the root hairs are still there, Shyam. So only thing what you have to do is you have to clear the infection, and once the infection is cleared, you can definitely start seeing regrowth. Okay, if it is because of an infection. Okay, otherwise hereditary, you go completely bald, then it is very difficult. Okay, and specific food, if you look at hair fall is because of excessive heat in the body. Two things. One is excessive heat, where your hair follicle actually goes through its life cycle pretty fast and falls off. Second thing is that you are extremely congested so that the blood supply does not reach the hair roots. Two conditions, major things. Okay, so what you have to do here is you have to see that you do basic exercise moderately, because the heart is here. Okay, by gravity blood supply goes to the feet, and if the blood supply has to go to the above your heart, it has to really pump, and that's the only way the nutrition will reach the hair roots. So if you have got too much of kapha, okay, it will block the hair roots. If you have got too less kapha is in nutrition, nutrition does not reach the hair roots. So balancing that vata, pitta and kapha and getting a balanced scalp is very important for hair growth. If it's an infection, you clear the infection, there's always a chance for the hair to come back. Vidya Rajendra Varman. Vidya, okay, methi seeds, garlic flakes. Yes, garlic is actually extremely ushna, tikshna, and in most parts of Ayurvedic texts, you don't see garlic as a part of food. Okay, even though onion has been mentioned as a taste enhancer. Okay, garlic has been given good medicinal properties, but when you start taking something on a daily basis, it gets converted into food. Okay, but for a certain period of time, yes, you can consume garlic, and when garlic, by and large, when garlic is given as such, there is something called Lashuna Kshira Paka. We boil it and milk, and that milk is being consumed, because garlic is so pungent and so strong that it is not to be consumed on a regular basis. Okay, yes, it has got an effect on cholesterol, and it will definitely bring your cholesterol down. Exercise is the most important thing here, Vidya, and see what you're eating and see how much of stress you are having in life and why your cholesterol is going up. We'll have to basically look into the causative factors and not only into the treatment. Whether you take garlic pearls or whether you're taking statin, in my opinion, both are same if you don't try to handle the causative factors. Instead of modern statin medicine, you are taking garlic. Okay, that doesn't make any difference at all. For you, we have to understand what the causative factor is and then manage that. Overnight oiling hair is not recommended. So what can be used instead? See, overnight, what happens is any day of the year, it can be summer, it can be autumn, it can be winter, any time of the year, you say, nights are basically cooler than the day. Okay, there are conditions where, I don't want to get into the medical conditions where we apply oil and leave it overnight. I don't want to go there, but by and large, it is always good for you to apply oil in the morning, wait for about a muhurta, maybe 45 minutes to 1 hour, and then wash it. Okay, and if your scalp is pretty clean, you don't have to use a shampoo on a daily basis, which I apply oil daily and I don't use a shampoo on a daily basis. I probably might be using it once in 10 days or once in 15 days. I apply oil, leave for about 45 minutes, and I rinse it really well with water so that about 50 to 60% of the oil goes out. Then when I use a towel to dry my hair, another 10-20% goes out, another 10-20% stays on my hair, on my scalp, and I feel that is something which is very, very, very good for the scalp to stay balanced. Okay, instead of shampoo, you can use hibiscus leaf powder. You can see there are a lot of alternatives. You can use shika, you can use rita, a lot of things are there if cleaning your scalp is what you're keeping in mind. But anything you use, the scalp will become dry, and keeping a scalp extremely dry, cosmetically that may look great for you, but it is not good for your hair. Sweetie, that's a very, very, very good question, we are actually in a rat race right now. You want your child to become an engineer, a lawyer, a CA, a doctor. So, and you make them sit and study, you run, and then you compare with other students. We as parents and teachers and schools are the one which actually increase the stress in children. So how do we create an environment? We have to see the causative factors are the parents. The relatives, the neighbors, the teacher, the school, the curriculum, the external factors mostly are outside. You know, so if you don't try to manage or look into the external factors, why do you want to blame the poor child for the stress? Every child is not made the same. Every child cannot take the same kind of. See, everybody has got the same syllabus. As Ayurveda says, everything has to be tailor-made. Some kids like doing something, let them do that. They might not become an engineer, they might not become a doctor, but somehow, somewhere, they will do something in life and become successful. So stress is something which we put in the child, and the child also has to understand, realize that there is no point doing all these things, by the age of 20, 30, you have a nervous breakdown, you are sick, and then you are not useful to either to the society or to yourself. So stress is something which a child when born, is not stressful. The environment around the child makes it stressful. So that's something which I would say, see what's happening around the child. Okay, I think with that we end all the questions. If there is something, one or two questions, I can still take. But I think that with that we end the session. I'll see you next week at the same time. Okay. And till then, good night. Some other topic next week. Okay. Good night.